Okay, here we have another very important question of coordinate geometry from the past paper. This question is from June 2016, paper 1, question 14. According to this question, the coordinates of the midpoint of the line AB are 1, 2, and the length of the line AB is 10 units. So the length of the line is 10 units and the midpoint of the line is 1, 2. Now, if the gradient of the AB is 0, find the coordinates of A and B. So, as we know that if we have a straight horizontal line, so the gradient of a straight horizontal line is 0. So, it means here in this case, we have a straight horizontal line AB and the midpoint of this line is 1, 2. The length of the line is 10, okay. So now as we have a straight horizontal line and the length of the line is 10, so right now we are having a midpoint 1, 2, so it means that on both sides we will have a length 5 units and 5 units. Like the total length of AB is 10 units, okay. So it means that on both sides of midpoint we have 5 units because the total length is 10 and the midpoint is 1, 2. Now, if it means that here we have length 5 on the right hand side and similarly here we have length 5 on the left hand side. So it means that if this is a straight horizontal line, so the y coordinate will be same on whole line. We will have a change only in x coordinate. Now if we move towards 5 points on the right hand side, right now we are on 1. So if we move 5 points on the right hand side, it will be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, again I am repeating 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we move 5 points towards the right hand side, it will be 6. So it means the coordinate of x is 6 and the coordinate of y is same 5. So it will be 6, 2. Now, if we move towards the left hand side, the y coordinate will be same because as this is a straight horizontal line, only we will have a change only in x coordinate. So if we move 5 points on the back from 1 or on the left hand side, so right now we are on 1. If we move 5 points back, so it will be 0, then -1, -2, -3 and -4. If we move 5 points at the back from 1, first point is 0, then -1, -2, -3 and -4. So it means here we have point -4 and the y coordinate will be same 2. So we can say these two are coordinates of A and B. So the coordinate of A is -4, 2 and the coordinate of B is 6, 2. Now with the same condition, like midpoint is A 1, 2 and the length of the line is 10 units, we have another condition like if the gradient of AB is 3/4, find the coordinates of A and B. So as in this part we have the gradient 3/4. So we know that the formula of gradient is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So it means in numerator we have a change in y and in denominator we have a change in x. So on the graph paper, if we mark this point, midpoint 1, 2, okay, and the gradient is 3/4 and the length of this line is 10 units. Now see here I have drawn this graph. So on this graph paper I have marked the midpoint 1, 2. Now as we have discussed that the gradient is always change in y and then in denominator we have change in x. So if we have a change in x as 4, okay, so from this point if we move 4 points on the right hand side, so we will get a change in x. Okay, see here we have Right now we are on 1. So if we move 4 points on the right hand side, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So means we will be here. So we have moved 4 points on x-axis. Okay. Then similarly on y-axis we will move 4 points because the change in y is 3. Now if we move above 3 points, so it will be 1, 2 and 3. So it means this is our required point. And if we read this point, it's 5, 5. So first of all, we have checked the change in x, then we have checked the change in y. Similarly, we will do the same thing with the next coordinate also, but right now we will move towards the left hand side. First we will check the change in x, then we will check the change in y. Okay, so here as we have seen that we have change in y as 3 and the change in x is 4. So from this point, midpoint 1, 2, now we will move from the back side. So if we move from the back, if we move on the back side, first we will check the difference in y. So the difference in y is 3. So now we will move below 1, 2, 3. So right now here we are here on 1 and minus 1 point. Then we have a change in x as 4. So right now here we have a change in y 3. Now we will see the change in x, it's 4. So from this point we will move towards the left hand side, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, so here we have moved 4 points. So it means we have reached here and this point is 3 and minus 1. 3 and minus 1. One thing more, that why we from this point we have moved like if we have point 1, 2 to find the right hand side, we have moved like same horizontal and then we moved above. Then why from y-axis we have not, from the left hand side we have not done this? Why we have moved below and then on the left hand side? It's because remember that if we have a gradient 3 upon 4, 1 upon 2, 9 upon 6 or any other number in terms of fraction, positive fraction, then we will always get a diagonal line like this. So this is our required point of line AB. Okay, so here we have point A and this is point B. Remember that if we have a same gradient with negative sign like negative 3 upon 4, then our line of gradient will be like this. We will have a gradient, but our line will be like this. Okay, it will be passing through second and the fourth chord. Okay, and if we have positive gradient, then our line will be in first and third chord. Okay, so that's why we are we will move from on the right hand side. So first horizontal, then above, then when we move find the left hand side point, then first we will move below and then on the left hand side. Okay, so if we read the coordinates of A and B, here we have A point as -3 and -1 and B point as 5, 5. So here we have got the coordinates of A as -3, -1 and B coordinate 5, 5. So in this question, in this part of the question, we have learned that whenever we have a gradient in terms of fraction, then we will have a diagonal line. So if the gradient is positive, then we will have a diagonal line like this in first and in the third chord. And similarly, when we have a gradient as negative, then we will have a diagonal like this blue line. Okay, so in the first part, when they ask to find the coordinates when we have a straight horizontal line, okay, because they have said that here we have the gradient 0. So whenever we have a gradient 0, so it will be straight horizontal line. Okay, and then when we have a gradient in fraction, so if it is positive fraction, then we will have this red line as the diagonal line, and if we have a gradient as negative, then we will have this blue line. Okay, so we have got the coordinates of A and B in both conditions. I hope you have understood this question. Thank you.